Friends, I have just gotten a fresh and hot Model Y L. In this video, let's take a look at the differences between this car and other models, including testing whether the space is sufficient. The changes in appearance are just briefly mentioned, as there aren't particularly significant change. The front and rear logos have turned completely black, and features like the connected headlights and the reflective tail lights remain. As for the tires, they are now mixed tires, with 255 tires in the front and 275 in the rear. I believe everyone has already seen the exterior color, which is a new color called Starlight Crystal. Like the other colors on the changing star, this car also has it. However, the new colors usually cost extra. Okay, let's talk about some of the current data of this car. For example, its drag coefficient has reached 0.21, which is indeed quite low compared to other 6-seat SUVs of the same class. This time, the battery used is an 83-degree ternary lithium battery, and the range has reached 751 kilometers. It doesn't seem to have changed much compared to before. Now, let's move on and check out the space that everyone is most concerned about. I just noticed a small detail. This time the keel has added a new style. Personally, it feels like it resembles the Y shape, doesn't it? You can name it yourself. Okay, let's test this space now. Now I'm entering the second row, and both the driver and passenger seats have been adjusted to my sitting posture. However, I have to admit that compared to other models, the comfort in the second row is indeed much better. Moreover, there are many features that you definitely wouldn't see in previous Tesla models. Take a look. First of all, the second row seats support forward and backward adjustment, including the backrest. Without me telling you, can you guess where the second row armrest is? You see, there's nothing above the seat. Look at a glance at this place, can you imagine? On this side, they added an electric armrest with one-touch lift. The buttons are on both the left and right sides. It has a one-touch lift button. You see, after raising it, it's not particularly comfortable to rest it on. It's too small. Let's take a look at the second row seat to see how far it can recline. Officially, it's said to recline to over 130 degrees. It's definitely not comparable to the current one-click zero-gravity seats and such, but it also strives to be as luxurious and comfortable as possible based on its foundation. Okay, let's look at this headrest. This time, both the first and second rows are different from before. Now they are integrated, and there are buttons on the side that allow you to adjust it up and down. I think this headrest is much more comfortable than before. Next, let's talk about the seating experience in the second row. Although it doesn't have a leg rest, it has been extended on the cushion. You can see that the front row is my driving position. If I sit like this, basically your leg, especially the thigh part, is still properly supported. But I always feel that such a small armrest is really not comfortable. The experience of sitting in the second row is about the same. Let's still keep the 2-fist distance for the second row. Let's take a look at the third row. Before talking about the seating experience of the third row, I must tell friends that there are steps to enter the third row from the second row. The step is quite high. I just measured it, and it's 9 centimeters. Especially for children, they must be extra careful going up and down. It's easy to trip. Let's take a look at the third row now. In the second row, I had left about 2 fist spaces for legroom. There's still about 1 fist and 4 finger space remaining. As for the headroom, there's roughly a fist space, yes? Basically, it's touching the rear windshield. On both sides, it offers adjustable backrest settings. It's almost there, with a space about 1 finger wide above the head. Let's talk about its advantages now. This time, the Model Y L has added seat heating functions for both the second and third rows. The second row comes with seat ventilation. The charging port for the second row is located below the rear screen, and the charging port for the third row seats is in this position, making it easy for everyone to use. Additionally, there are cup holders on both sides as well as air vents and speakers. Alright. Having discussed its advantages, let's talk about its disadvantages. They are quite obvious. Firstly, the step to get from the second row to the third row is too high, making it inconvenient to enter and exit. Secondly, the seats are very thin, and overall, they are quite sunken. Sitting on them really feels like sitting on a small stool, and it's basically impossible for an adult to sit comfortably for a long time. If you're carrying two small children, it might be slightly better. For someone of my height, there's no way to tuck my feet under the second row seats. I can only put it in the middle. Maybe it's okay to ease it a bit. Let's talk about the top part. This area is the rear peak, and you can't apply this curtain or those things later. You might just apply a film. Otherwise, it's still particularly sunny in summer. So I think the sun protection in this area needs to be considered. Let's talk about some changes in the front row. I can only say that sitting inside still brings a very familiar smell. But if you ask, it hasn't changed much. Although there are improvements. Firstly, the resolution of this screen has increased by 30%. Then the second change is the wireless charging below. It now supports 50 watts, plus 30 watts of wireless charging, and also has air-cooled heat dissipation. Another point is that when you are having a light show, the wind surround lights inside the car can be linked. Also, you can see the difference in the headrests of the main and auxiliary seats, right? The adjustment will also be more convenient compared to before. These are some changes in the front row. Finally, the biggest improvement in my opinion is the sound system. This time, compared to the exterior, the number of speakers has increased to 19, and it also includes the timpani. Now, let's review the trunk space, shall we? There are a few changes at the rear. You see, the rear badge has now turned completely black, with the addition of two small characters, Target, following Model Y. Then the upper tail leaf is now made into a split type, good. After looking at the changes, let's take a look at the trunk next. Let's measure it for everyone. In the case where 3 rows are lined up, how long is this trunk? The trunk length is measured at 51 centimeters. This time, to meet different level requirements, it has added 3 rows to the trunk, including a 1-button fold-down button for the second row seats and a lift button. With the third row folded down, the trunk length measures up to 1.1 meters. But I must say, this trunk is indeed something I've seen. The trunk of this 6-seat SUV is considered quite large, and its ability to maximize space is indeed impressive. When you lift up the panel below, I think it can still fit your mattress, and it feels like a 20-inch suitcase can fit in as well. Officially, they say that with the third row upright, the trunk can fit 2 24-inch suitcases and a 20-inch suitcase. Now, we have folded down the third row to take a look. We have also folded down the second row seats, so no need to measure the length anymore. I think a 1.8 meter mattress can fit without any issues, but you might need to consider here. Yes, with the third row seats folded down, there is a slope here. But I'll tell everyone how to use the magic space of this trunk. Look at this cover board. Right after you open it, it gives you 2 supports below. You stand it up like this. Don't blink. Look. Isn't it flat now? The cover plate perfectly matches the 3 rows of seats, and then I move the second row of seats to the back. Look, when you lay down a mattress, doesn't it form a 2-meter long space? After experiencing the Model Y L statically, indeed in this car, you'll notice many features that were not included before. It's not so much about compromise, but about catering to more Chinese consumers. Right, while ensuring the safety of 3 stores, we provide you with the features other cars have. Yes, we also have this kind of concept to offer everyone. Oh, after experiencing this car, my friends, do you think that once this car is out, compared to the current same-level six-seater SUVs? Does it have significant advantages? However, there is a concept that I personally